Fox News, I'm Chris Foster.
America, hope is making a comeback.
Former First Lady Michelle Obama on stage at the Democratic National Convention in Chicago, followed by her husband, former President Barack Obama.
Kamala Harris won't be focused on her problems. She'll be focused on yours.
There's a ceremonial roll call vote nominating Vice President Harris as presidential nominee. Her running mate Tim Walz speaks and accepts the vice presidential nomination tonight. Former President Trump campaigns with his running mate J.D. Vance in North Carolina today, giving a speech about national security. Yesterday in Michigan, it was about crime and safety.
Kamala Harris will deliver crime, chaos, destruction, and death.
Yes, events in Arizona and Nevada tomorrow and Friday. Former Congresswoman Debbie Mucarsel Powell wins the Democratic Senate nomination in Florida to run against the Republican incumbent Rick Scott. America's listening to Fox News.
Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Live and local. Real talk starts now.
Well, I get to say it another day. This week it's
Hump Day.
Thank you very much. I knew I could get the cue going there.
Halfway through.
Yeah, here we go again. Good morning. I'm Rayford Brown.
And good morning. I'm Lee Barrows.
And Kelly is still taking some time off to feel better.
Yeah.
This is what they call Dr. Feel Good time.
That's right.
Yeah. And everybody needs to do that from time to time. She works around the clock, it seems like. My God.
There's so much going on. Yeah.
So many people with so many issues. And so anyway, that's good.
I don't know if that's good or not. So many people with so many issues.
Well, it's good that they got a place to turn to. So that's
absolutely.
That's a good thing.
I might have to after this week.
Weather is looking really, really, really. It's like 59 degrees in our backyard right here. That's officially 59 degrees. Humidity is down a bit, still not down enough. It's 92%. If it was down into the 50% range out there, we would be freezing.
Yes,
it would feel that way.
Yeah, so what does it feel like?
It feels like 60.
Okay.
So that's okay. It's all right.
Look, I'll take that any day.
Yeah. I love cool weather to sleep with. And
I do too.
You know, oh, shit, it's so nice. So nice.
And it ought to help everybody's electric bill for the month.
Oh, God, I hope so.
Oh. Well, I can't really complain. Mine has been really good.
Mine has not.
Of course, I only have to cool and heat myself. So.
Well, you got a dog.
I have a dog. Well, he stays under the blanket, whether it's summer or winter.
Oh, well, that's okay then.
Yes.
No charges have been filed in a wreck Monday that killed 40-year-old Bobby Lee Rutherford of Jacksonville. That wreck happened about 11 o'clock Monday morning near the entrance to the Albert J. Ellis Airport. One of the two vehicles involved was making a left turn from Catherine Lake Road onto Fowler Manning Road when it collided with the second vehicle. The other driver was 24-year-old Nathaniel Denning of Maple Hill. I'm not sure the extent of his injuries. None were listed. The Highway Patrol is continuing their investigation. That's a tragic situation.
Oh, horrible. Just in a blink of an eye.
That's all it takes. Whatever was going on, somebody turned in front of somebody else. And, I see that all the time with motorcycles, people turning in front of a motorcycle. Those guys, as much as as I don't like motorcycles, not the people or anything else, I don't like them. I need more room for all my cameras and stuff than they provide me.
Right.
I don't have enough room for fishing poles or, my Yeti cooler in the back. I don't have any room on a motorcycle.
Wow. That's the way we women are.
And then
we have to have room.
And then it's going to rain.
Right.
And then the sun's going to shine.
Right.
And then it's going to be hot. And then you're going to have somebody turn directly in front of you. And you really got to be on the lookout. Because it matters not whether you're in the right or the wrong. On a motorcycle.
That's right.
It depends upon who's the bigger person.
Well, one time I was going down 17 South right there, just passing Triangle. And I went to change lanes. And I'm one that has to physically look plus my mirrors. But I also turn my head. And I started to go into the other lane. And I just happened to catch it. Because it was a motorcycle, and he was scared. I scared him. I scared myself. But he was just in that one tiny little spot, blind spot.
You need to go buy one of those auto type 2 convex mirrors that will fit in your car on
Right.
your mirror.
Right.
I've got one on each side.
I only have one on the right side. Why didn't they put one on the left side too? Why
You
did they
can
do
buy
that?
them as a stick-on.
Yes.
I questioned the stick-on part, but it's been on there for a year.
Good.
So, I'm good to go. I've got one on each side, and I can look on either side. I don't care if you're right there beside me. I can see you. Even if I can't see you with the other mirrors,
Right.
I can see you with those 2.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what. And that freaks me out. But I mean, and like I say, I scan all my mirrors, but I also turn my head. And when I turned my head, it's just when I barely caught them.
Well, you're lucky in that case because I got a lot of blind spots in the Jeep.
Yes.
When you look to the right, and you can't see that well.
Yes. I have my mirrors and I'll look and scan the mirrors. It looks clear, but I still turn my head to look.
Now, Robbie in her little car, her little Toyota Highlander,
She's got a cute car.
it's got something that shows up in the mirror whenever anybody gets within range of either side of the mirror. It's got a little light, 3 little lights that pop up. You might
Oh.
not be able to see them, but that little sensor sees them and says, "Don't go over there. You don't need to go over there. Somebody's over there already."
That's a good warning. Like sometimes when I back out of the driveway here in the morning,
Mhm.
I start getting my red stop light flashing,
Uh-huh.
and I'm looking and nothing's there. But hey, at least it's alerting me.
Yeah. There sometimes might be a bird or a squirrel.
Could be.
Could be a
Could be.
deer over there. Sometimes we
Could
have
be.
deer walking through the neighborhood. Okay, suspicious Craven County deputies, bless them, conducting a traffic stop over the weekend ended up arresting the driver on a multitude of charges. 36-year-old Stanley Basnight of Columbia, North Carolina, yes, there is one, was stopped in Newbern by a canine officer. Well, right up front, it's going to be a bad day if you're holding. The deputy's report showed he developed probable cause to search the car and found a concealed handgun first, one that had been stolen. 91 grams of ecstasy, 19 grams of fentanyl, along with various drug paraphernalia. The charges include trafficking opioids by possession and transportation, trafficking MDMA, that's ecstasy, by possession and transportation, possession with the intent to manufacture, sell, and deliver Schedule 1, 2, and 6 controlled substances, felony maintaining a vehicle for controlled substances, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, possession of a stolen firearm, carrying a concealed weapon, and possession of drug paraphernalia. His bond was set at a little over $1.7 million.
Well,
Well,
good luck with raising that.
of course, I had to check his background.
Of course you
He
did.
served 3.5 years for trafficking drugs beginning in 2005.
Well-
He served the entire 3.5 years. He served another 19 months in 2018 for eluding officers to avoid arrests, along with some other charges. He served the entire 19 months. He was sentenced to 1 year and 7 months. He got 19 months in the big house. He stayed there. Good. That means he was not a nice person when he was in prison. That's what that means.
He certainly didn't learn anything, did he?
Nope.
Just probably had to become more of a thug.
Well, if he's convicted, he will go back. And there's not a doubt in my mind because, what? That'll be 3 strikes.
Yes, he should be.
I really wish we could do that. I wish they would enforce that. Occasionally you'll see a felon, habitual felon, that a DA, our district attorney here, he's pretty well prosecuted a number of convicted felons as habitual felons, habitual offenders, and they go back in as a separate offense. And that jail time, that prison time is generally pretty significant. So,
We need him to come back on. We haven't had him on in a while. It's been a while,
we'll
hasn't
get him
it?
in here when he's in between murder trials.
His
He's
stories
got
are always so good.
So many murder cases he's dealing with.
Yes.
We could get him in on a holiday, but I try not to because that's
No.
a day that he needs not to be working.
Yeah.
And this is work. So we'll get him in here.
When I see him taking a walk in the neighborhood, I know it's been a bad day.
Oh my. Does he have a big stick?
No,
He probably should have.
he's walking. You could tell. He's got things on his mind. I don't bother him.
Well, number 2 done and gone.
I'm gonna tell you, Rayford. I don't know if I'm gonna make it through. I am trying.
I didn't
am
even make it.
trying. I am trying to look at the other side, but this has become a war on who can talk about the other person the worst.
In a personal way,
Yes.
not in a policy
Yes.
way. I do not
Yes.
mind if they take on Donald Trump's policies at all. I don't mind if Donald Trump takes on the record of Harris, because she's got a record. You know,
Right.
she's got
Right.
because she's touting her prosecutorial days. That's her big claim to
But
fame.
you know what?
it was
Nobody's
awful.
talking about the record.
Not anymore.
Nobody's saying a thing
Because
about
there's
her.
so much there that it's not worth talking about. And then her 4 years serving as a senator.
Right.
Okay,
Her almost 4 years.
almost 4 years. Now, if she had not if she had not intended to serve the entire 6 years, that's one thing. But I think, because when she was elected, she didn't know that what's his face, Biden, would be selected.
Well, now she put in her
But
hat
she
in the
ran.
ring.
She ran.
That's
as-
right.
She
Before
ran.
that.
She ran as was she a sitting senator when she ran? Yes, she
Mhm.
was. In 2020,
Right.
she was a sitting senator at that time. So she had a plan. It was not that she was selected to be
Right.
the VP all of a sudden from a bank of senators. She had a plan because she ran. She wanted to be president.
I will say though that everything she did hit just at the right time. She
Oh,
pulled
how
out of
about
the race
that?
for president. Joe Biden snatched her up.
She was told that because she was scoring pretty well in the polls at that time, she was
Right.
told that, you know what, lady, you're not going to get the nomination. So why don't you bow out now,
Right.
come on board
Mhm.
as Biden's VP,
Right.
and then we'll get you in there. And I still think their plans were to throw Biden under the bus after 2 years and let her move in, but she proved to be so negligible and nobody
Is that what you
really
call it?
cared for her during that first 2 years that they
Right.
said maybe this is not a good thing.
Right.
And then she would not have run. They would not have put her in there as the nominee
right.
until that Democrat, debate with Trump, Biden and Trump. And then it was so obvious to everybody there was no way that Joe Biden could continue.
I'm telling you right now, this race is going to go down to the wire. This race is going to be last minute. It's going to be who can snag the pivotal states that they need to snag. And it's just, I have never seen such craziness.
You can analyze it your way. Here's the way I'm going to analyze it. It's going to come down to the day of, and it's going to depend upon who does not vote. If the vast majority of the people in this country, as usual, do not vote,
Right.
then she's going to go in. If the vast majority of the people turn out and say, there's no way on this earth that we want her in there,
Right.
and they turn out, and then she will not be elected.
Well, one thing, the difference that I'm seeing right now is the Democratic Party has been out on the streets every day.
All the time. They're working
Every
it.
day. They are working. Me of a story about a DNC delegate that as soon as they got off the airplane,
Mhm.
that there was Democrat, a group that was out there snatching people as soon as they got off the airplane. Hey, are you registered to vote? Hey, would you like, yes, I am. I'm a Republican, said the person. Well, would you like to change over to Democrat? I mean, they're out there working the streets every single day. They're putting forth the effort. They have gotten PACs. They have gotten groups. They have gotten all sorts of stuff going on where they have people out there.
If I was in their shoes, I would not try to convince a Republican or an independent to change their party affiliation. It does not make any difference now.
Right.
You can tell them, are you happy with that? You're a Republican? Okay, I'm sorry. Are you happy with Mr. Trump? If you're happy with Mr. Trump, I can understand that. If you're not,
Right.
if you're having some doubts, here's some information. I'm not asking you to change your party affiliation because that's going to be offensive. but I'm not trying to give the Democrats any hints. But that's the way it is. Now, the Republicans should do the same thing. Don't try to change a Democrat's party affiliation. Do not try to convince me to become a Democrat. It's not going to work. I am who I am, as Popeye used to say.
You just, for some reason, you just popped into my head. But this I have to bring up. At the Democratic National Convention out there in Chicago, they have a bus sitting out there for abortions and vasectomies.
Really?
There is a bus sitting, a blue bus, and I swear to you, it's sitting right out there, and it's an abortion and vasectomy clinic. I mean,
I've said this before.
This is what we've
I do not
gotten to?
understand why you Republicans are so against abortions. I just don't get it. Okay, you all are, by your platform, you're against abortions, right?
I will say I'm
But
very moderate
If
on
you
that.
if you go to the city of New York, if you go to any extremely liberal city where everybody is Democrat, right?
Right.
You know who the vast majority of the abortions are? They're
Right,
among Democrats.
Well, this is my take on abortion. If it's a medical issue, yes.
Of course.
Well, let me just say what I'm against. I'm against someone using abortion as a means of birth control.
Absolutely.
And I'm against somebody waiting to that fetus is viable to, at a certain point where, and having an abortion because they just didn't want the child.
Yeah. I agree with that.
I'll get them.
Okay, nobody heard what I just said. Oh, that's not shockwave. Okay, we got 2 or 3 dogs running around the neck of the woods, so we'll see how that's working out. Okay, let's see if I scroll back up the chain here and see what I can find out. The severe weather tip, and I hope Kelly's listening this morning too, because I got some stuff to say this morning when we get down in very shortly. The severe weather tip brought to you by John Starrs Electric. Warm and hot weather can bring out something that creates fear in a lot of people. Are you hearing me?
Yes.
Warm and hot weather brings out something that can create a lot of fear in a whole lot of y'all out here. What's that fear?
No electricity?
Snakes.
Oh, God, I picked my feet up again.
First, some facts.
Here we go.
There are 37 species of snakes in North Carolina. Only 6 of those are poisonous.
Oh,
Snakes can be found in the deep woods, in our waters, and anywhere they can find hiding spaces in our cities. While the bite of a venomous snake can be deadly if medical help is not sought quickly, stats show that only 4 people have died in the United States between 2020 and 2022. I'm going to challenge those figures, but only because they're low. But I don't know. They are very low anyway. During that time, more than 7,000 victims were treated for snake bites. Rattlesnakes, various species of rattlesnakes, there are more than one, were listed as the primary culprits in deadly snake bites. Two of those deadly snake bites were involved with people, one holding a rattlesnake during a religious ceremony. A preacher got nailed. You've seen those before, right?
yes.
No. And the other one was a guy who was a researcher and his pet rattlesnake bit him
What's wrong
and
with
he
these
died. They both died.
Mm.
The most common poisonous snake in eastern North Carolina is the copperhead.
people? Okay.
Behind that is the cottonmouth water moccasin. When we get heavy rains from tropical storms or hurricanes, we know that creeks and streams flood. Copperheads particularly will seek refuge at higher points, including yards, porches, outbuildings, any place that is relatively dry. Experts encourage caution after a storm. Wood piles, under deck furniture. Your deck furniture? You got a deck or a porch, you got furniture
I
on
have
it,
concrete and
nothing on top of it, no chairs or anything?
yeah, but the chair, you can see everything.
No, that's
Yeah.
good.
I keep it open.
Snakes can hide in low areas, and many can be found on overhead rafters, any place they think is safe. We were at a ball game for our nephew last month, I guess
Right.
it was up Wilson, and under the covered awning bleacher thing there, and somebody started talking and looking. Everybody started looking up. Crawling across one of the metal rafters over there was a snake, about a 4-footer, crawling across over the tops of people. Oh, yeah. How about that?
I have my feet up right now. And
Stay away from the snakes unless you're an expert. Telling the difference between some poisonous and non-poisonous snakes is pretty difficult. If you're bitten and can get a picture of the snake, that will help medical personnel at the hospital. Try to keep from getting excited too, by the way, if you get bit. But seek medical treatment at a hospital as quickly as you can. Hospital ERs are more likely to have the anti-venom needed. You can discourage snakes from taking refuge on your property by getting rid of junk piles, old wood piles, any
have to do
debris
that.
where snakes feel safe. These safety tips are brought to you by John Stars Electric. For all of your electrical needs, the John Stars team is ready to handle any job, big or small, residential or commercial. And when you finally decide to bite the bullet, like my wife and I did about a year ago, and get set up with a Generac standby generator, John Stars Electric is standing by to help you. Give them a call if you want a turnkey and worry-free project that's done just right. 910-989-1908. We'll be right back with weather for the rest of this week right after these messages. Don't go away.
Freedom 97.1. It's live and local. Real talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
All right, the Marine Outlook is brought to you as a service of Community Prevention Service of Jacksonville. We talk about drug overdoses quite a bit because there are a lot of OD deaths from prescription, over-the-counter, and illegal drugs every year. A disturbing stat from the DEA reports that on average, 18% of children up to age 11, 27% of young folks 12 to 19, 47% of adults from 20 to 59, and 85% of seniors 60 and older that take some kind of prescription drug for one problem or another every day. Wow. Thank goodness that not all of those prescriptions are pain meds, but the older we get, the more often that pain drugs are routinely prescribed. This is scary. Almost 2% of the U.S. population, almost 5 million people, have a prescription opioid use disorder. Let me do that again. 2% of the U.S. population, that's 5 million people who walk among us, have a prescription opioid use disorder. These are drugs that drug manufacturers produce, drugs that a medical professional prescribes, prescriptions that are filled by pharmacies, millions upon millions of sanctioned pain medications that are taken legally in the United States every year. The vast majority of physicians will not continue anymore to write prescriptions for their patients without seeking other treatment alternatives. The additional problem at that time is that the patients, they already like what they've been taking. Perhaps they're in pain they cannot deal with, and maybe they just find relief somehow or another. So they go elsewhere. If they can't get the prescription legally, they'll go somewhere else. The problem is then compounded. For more than 111,000 of them during the past year, their battles ended. They overdosed and they died. If you, a loved one, a friend, if you're in what looks like a never-ending cycle, seek professional help. In Jacksonville, you're lucky. A team of counselors are working at Community Prevention Service, a locally owned and operated facility that wants to help you. The counselors will work with you to develop a treatment plan that does not require you to seek drugs for relief. There are other options. There's no reason to think you're on a dead-end road. Give Community Prevention Service a call, set up an appointment. Their number is 910-353-0972. Offshore today, northeasterly winds 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4 feet, 3-foot waves from the northeast every 5 seconds, being gently caressed by gentle 12-inch ripples from the east every 9 seconds. Sounds in rivers a moderate chop. Northeasterly winds on Thursday, 10 to 15 knots, increasing to 15 to 20 in the afternoon. Seas a little more challenging, 2 to 4 feet, 5 seconds apart. Sounds and rivers, a moderate chop, increasing to choppy in the afternoon. And on Friday, going into the weekend, northeasterly winds 15 to 20 Cs, kicking up 3 to 5. Sounds and rivers, choppy.
Okay, and today it's going to be sunny with a high near 81, north wind around 8 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 61. Thursday, sunny with a high of 84. Friday, a slight chance of afternoon showers and thunderstorms, partly sunny with a high near 84. And Friday night, Cardinal football, mostly cloudy with a low around 66. Yay. I mean, how good is that?
Yeah, I can do that.
Hey, are you going to be dialing up Dr. Rose?
Yeah, it's
Just
coming
few
up in a
minutes.
couple of minutes or so.
Okay, I was just going to. I pulled that story that I was talking about, the bus out there at the DNC. Well, Planned Parenthood has placed reproductive rights front and center at this year's Democratic National Convention in Chicago and is offering free vasectomies, medication abortions, and emergency contraceptives to attendees through its mobile health bus. I told you there was a bus out there. The Planned Parenthood Great Rivers of St. Louis announced on Twitter, which is X, that its bus will be in Chicago on Monday and Tuesday to provide this, directly challenging the shifting landscape of reproductive rights in the United States since the last Democratic convention after the U.S. Supreme Court voted to overturn Roe versus Wade. Who would have thought that you would see a bus in a parking lot where you could go in and get medication for an abortion, to produce an abortion, or get a vasectomy?
Sounds something out of future Star Wars or something.
I mean, can you see a gathering of some kind of event we had here in Jacksonville? You got the food truck, vasectomy truck.
Yeah.
I mean,
Have
really?
a burger afterwards, right?
I know, really. I mean, this is how far it's just crazy. It's just crazy. Since the Supreme Court overturned Roe versus Wade, 22 states have either banned abortion or imposed additional restrictions on access, which includes full bans in 14 states, access through 6 weeks, access through 12 weeks, which North Carolina is part of that, and access through 15 to 18 weeks. Who would have ever thought?
Not me.
Oh my God, I think I'm just old.
Well,
I don't know.
Oh, I know that I am.
Oh my gosh. Oh, speaking of that, today's National Senior Day. So enjoy, all our seniors. It's your day.
Oh, where's my gift? Huh?
Didn't say anything about give a senior a gift. It just said it's National Seniors Day. So happy National Seniors
Oh,
Day.
I do appreciate that. And you're not going to wish me many more?
Very many more.
People
I
have a
do,
birthday.
I
They
do.
wish you many more birthdays,
For
right?
all of us seniors. Right.
Yeah, we're all, except for the 3 children in here.
Yes.
And we're reaching out here to Dr. Rosemary Stein. She
Good
should be joining
morning.
us. Was she not
Oh,
here
she's
yet?
not
Well,
here
maybe
yet?
she's here now. Let's just do a quick check and see. Dr. Rose, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Oh,
Good
there
morning.
she is.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. I hope you are.
Well, we're wonderful. It's 59 degrees, 92% humidity on the coast.
It's like living in the mountains.
I don't know. With that humidity, you might be wrong.
Well, it says with the humidity and 59 degrees, it feels like 60 outside. I
It's
can
because-
still take 60.
It's because the sun's not come out yet.
Yeah. Got a little breeze out there too.
It's nice.
A little small one, about 2 miles per hour. So you walk outside and you will get a little chilled because we've been so hot, I think, so used to it.
Brr.
What's going on in
Well,
your world?
59 degrees is a little chilly.
Yes, it is. For August, it's downright cold. I would have thought it was the latter part of September when I got
Especially
up.
if it's a little breezy, like it tends to be at the coast.
Yes, it does. It is. And it's that way. Okay, what's happening in the world of children getting ready for school? I mean, like Monday is first day in a lot of places.
It is here in Alamance County, and I'm sure that it is at the coast as well. But I see a lot of kids talking and getting excited about school. I see some kids that are saying, "Oh no, the drudgery! We're going to be going back."
That would have been me.
So a lot of them, are coming in for their checkups. And remember, parents, to stay on top of the fact that they might be needing vaccines as they enter 6th grade, 7th grade, and 11th grade. Those are North Carolina laws. They will send them back to you, and they won't be able to attend school unless they have the proper forms to exempt them from vaccines. About the 3rd week of school, so somewhere around the middle of September, your children will not be able to attend school anymore if you have forgotten to get them their vaccines.
Wow.
And
Okay.
also remember that they need their sports physicals forms. Don't wait until the last day and put their participation in sports at risk. So it's very important that you ask your kid, you know how they are, they're just kids, something like that. But it's our responsibility as parents to see if they need any of those forms, if they're going to be participating in the fall sports, such as football and soccer, volleyball, all of those play during the fall. Hopefully some of the parents have woken up and said, oh no, and they're going to take their child over to their pediatrician or their family doctor to have that sports participation form completed.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, they got to do that, and hopefully generally the football folks who are already been practicing, because football starts here on Friday night this year, this week. Friday night is going to be the first game. Wow.
Yes.
I didn't check the weather. Hopefully it'll be cooler.
66, a low 66. It's
That's
going
not
to be
too
low
bad.
80, then into 66.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
But anyway, hopefully the coach has been telling them, if you don't got your stuff in here in time for the game, you ain't playing. That'll get them.
Yes, that's correct. And remember, it's not, it's not to bother people or make anybody any. Got to make sure that those hearts are okay. So somebody's got to listen to them. We've got to check the spines to make sure they don't have scoliosis or anything that's threatening to their health. These are just things that we just have to make sure that we check all of those boxes to protect your children from getting hurt.
Absolutely. You hear every year about a kid playing football or basketball, because there's a lot of stress and strain on the body during that time, that they suddenly just collapse and they find out they've had a cardiac issue since they were born, but caught that little hole in the heart or whatever, something that could have been taken care of, but then all of a sudden it becomes a tragic event.
That's right. That's exactly what we're trying to prevent, and it's specifically that the collapsing during the sports activities that is very dangerous and also very concerning. And so without checking them and going over their family history, the chances of their having a bad event like that increases.
Yeah. All right. Well, diseases this year, vaccinations you're talking about. What else do we need to be concerned about? Flu time will be right around the corner, I'm sure.
Oh,
it sure is. We're in our clinic. We're getting ready to get our vaccine shipment.
Okay.
They usually come in most places right around September, maybe early October. So just be on your toes. If your clinic has a list to sign up for to get the flu vaccine, if you've gotten it in the past, then make sure that you alert them that you'll be wanting that vaccine. Sometimes the clinics run out. We do many times, but you want to make sure that you are on the list to be the first ones to call or to make it a scheduled appointment for them. But if you've had them in the past and they protect you, I've said this many times, we shouldn't be changing the things that we do. If they work for your family, that's great. If you feel like you've gotten sick and that they don't work, then that may be the way that you want to go this year as well. But we want to make sure that we protect our families from the stuff that's out there. I've not heard if this year is going to be a bad year for the flu. We certainly still have some stragglers for COVID.
Right.
It seems to be very mild, but we still are having some COVID around and some pretty significant cold and strep right now.
Wow. Do they have? Has anybody come out has anybody come out, the researchers come out with anything that we could get a shot to help take care of the political woes that we, the people of this country, are having to
I'll
face
be
right now
first
every
in
freaking
line.
night? Can we get a vaccination?
Oh, God.
Get on the bus,
no,
Rayford.
there's no vaccine for that. But I'll
Get
tell
on the
you, we
bus.
sit around and we talk to our kids more, and we challenge, ourselves even in what we think and the status quo. Hopefully, things would turn around at least for the next generation. I don't know for the next 3 or 4 months. I think we're in for a lot of woes. But hopefully, if we talk to our kids, we raise them right, we pay attention to them, they'll have a little bit more sense than the kids that are being brought up today, and we'll have a better country on our shoulders for the next time.
All right. Well, I hope so.
I feel bad for kids like Hannah. Looking around,
Oh, sure.
and I think to myself, gosh, golly, I really am happy that I'm not 30 and 40 years younger.
Yeah, just trying to make up your mind, and it's a real choice. Then Lee throws this stupid thing out here this morning that up there at the convention, I don't care whether it's a Republican or Democrat, you put a bus out there enticing or encouraging, or maybe they pay double dollars or something to go get an abortion and a vasectomy, get aboard the bus.
Yeah, it's a
Say
medical
what?
abortion or a vasectomy or
Who would just spur of the moment do something like that?
That is crazy to me. I can see a lot of these young people. They actually need vasectomies because we don't want to carry on that DNA. But to encourage young ladies to have abortions, and we know that that it may be convenient at that moment, but it comes with a lot of side effects. We shouldn't downplay abortions at all. As a medical professional, I've seen that the consequences in these young ladies afterwards, especially in their mental health and
Sure.
not being able to have children in the future. It's not something to take lightly. There shouldn't be an abortion bus.
And there's
If young ladies are considering having abortion, it's something to take very seriously. It's something to consider. Okay, what are the real outcomes to this? There should never be an abortion bus.
Yeah. Well, and some people need to reconsider or at least think about it. This stuff cannot be undone. When it's done, right? No retroactive stuff.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Especially when it comes to terminating the life of your child that is in progress.
Mm-hmm.
That's not stuff that you can undo.
Yeah.
And it just should be considered very, very deeply with your family members and your boyfriend before you do that. It's not something to take lightly and jump into.
Yeah. All right, Dr. Rose, thank you for your time.
Thank you,
again.
Dr. Rose. I know you're probably busy getting all those physicals for all those athletes getting ready for school.
We're trying to do our best to get everything done so that the kids have a smooth transition into the school
Very
year.
good.
There you go. That's good. Keep them safe, please.
Well, those kids in Alamance County are very blessed.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I appreciate you saying that.
Thank you, ma'am. Have a good
You
one.
guys have a great week.
You too, Dr.
See you next week, Doc.
Rose.
Okay. Your reason I seem to be stalling a little bit is because the computers are going wacky. Not mine. Somewhere up the line.
Well, we may be having a caller here. I'm waiting to find out.
Well, that's good. We probably need to go ahead and take a caller.
Yes.
But we've got some computer. We can't play any commercials.
Oh, we back to that again? Well, now's a good time for this one caller. Let me see. I'm waiting for him to respond to me.
Mm-hmm.
He just sent me a news story, and it didn't really affect us here locally. So, and I've got to read it. But I just asked him, because I talked to him the other day, and we were talking about scams, insurance scams.
Oh, yeah. Is that Mike?
Yes.
Okay, well, good. You would have thought the demonstrators at the Democrats' lackluster party in Chicago would have studied what their predecessors did in 1968. Those protesters did not seem to have the energy or desire to put on a good riot. One little fire. That's what I saw. And a quick shot of used beer was the highlight last night. Admittedly, I would not bring myself to spend any time in front of the tube on this one. I did get through the vast majority of President Biden's speech on Monday night simply because he's the president. Got it?
Right.
I think he's been acting like he's just doesn't have much vigor left, just so he could pull out of the race gracefully. Wonder how all of that came about. I don't know. He did good the other night. I thought, his critics, of course, all of the other people, the naysayers out there who wouldn't give him the time of day for anything, they had a lot of negative things to say about him. But that's the way it is. I thought he did very well. I'm sure he was prepped. He was, given plenty of rest. That presidential job, and he probably has come to understand that now. That presidential thing, that gig, is a killer.
The stress alone.
The stress alone, it's not. It's an awful situation to be in. But you know what? If he's going to come out of this okay.
Yeah.
Long as he between now and January will just take a chill pill, spend some time at the beach, and I'm not going to hold it against him.
Right. No. It's like
He's
we've
done
been
his time.
saying.
He's hung up his spurs.
No shame in getting old.
Nope.
Just what we've been saying.
The alternative is kind of, you don't get any older.
I think he needed to step down, and I thank him for his time in there as our president.
Yeah, I hate the way it had to be done.
I do too.
Pull the rug out from underneath him, but it's.
And I still think
that's
it's
what it
wrong that they waited so late to have him on stage Monday night. He should have been on there 8:00.
Maybe they were
9
still
o'clock.
prepping him.
Could be. We don't know
8 o'clock
anything.
their time would have been 9 o'clock our time. So he was,
Maybe he was still sleeping.
I don't know. He's. I don't know. Maybe they were just trying to
A
time it
good
right.
long healthy nap.
And just to think in a negative way about the way people are doing things, maybe they did not want him on there during the real prime time, fearing that the worst would happen.
But what difference does it make now?
None.
I just
whatsoever.
think it was kind of disrespectful towards him.
Sure.
He's going out.
Mr. President, you got 20 minutes here. Can
Give
you
him
handle it?
his dues.
If you're not feeling like it, just give us a buzzword and we'll get you out. I'll get you off the stage. No
I
problem.
will say this, though, between the two conventions so far, the Republican convention to me was continuous, run smooth. And when they didn't have somebody on the stage, they had a band that was playing. I mean, it was constant engagement.
Yeah.
Watching the Democratic convention last night, it came on at 7:00. They kind of opened it up. And then we went through 15, 20 minutes of nothing, just looking at people on the floor, and you can hear noise from the floor.
Was it supposed to open at 8 o'clock?
Well,
7 o'clock our time?
yes.
Well, that would have been 6 o'clock their time.
Right. True. Well, the thing about it is, if you're going to go live on television,
Yeah.
you could tell there were so many holes in the
Yeah,
program.
you got to play it for the live audience.
Right. There were so many holes in the program. There were so many dead spots. There was so many, what's next? What are we doing next?
Mhm.
It to me, it's not as well run as what the Republican convention was. The Republican convention was continuous. It was always something going on, and in between where they were changing from this spot to another spot. I mean, they had a live band on there. They panned the crowd. They talked to people. I think they're, so far from what I've seen, much better. And the Republican convention was all about unity. And I think they showed that. The Republican convention, so far, it's been all about who can say the worst words about Trump, which that's what they're going to do. But
Well, they've got, what do you expect them to do? They've got to beat the guy that has been, he's the one that gets all the press. He's the one that they've got to beat. And if they don't beat him, then they lose.
well, what gets me is they jumped on him so much about when he would say something that was crass,
Mhm.
but they're doing it 100-fold over right now.
Well, that's,
When are we going to get back
They got their
to?
own tactics, I guess.
I don't know. It's just kind of strange to me.
All right, we're
I
still
just-
waiting for the
I haven't-
computer. British tech entrepreneur Mike Lynch and Morgan Stanley International Chairman Jonathan Bloomer are presumed dead, along with 4 other people who were aboard a luxury super yacht that sank off the coast of Italy Monday morning. Wow. Lynch and Bloomer were among the 6 people still missing, which include Lynch's 18-year-old daughter, Hannah,
Yes.
Bloomer's wife, Netta, and Clifford Chance lawyer Chris Morvillo and his wife, Judy. This is according to the Italian Coast Guard. Now, here's the thing. This Lynch just finished a court case,
Mm-hmm.
and he was found, he came out pretty well. So he invited all these people to celebrate.
He was acquitted on like 50 charges of
bunch.
fraud.
Yeah. So he invited all these people to be aboard his 184-foot yacht, sailboat,
Right. To celebrate.
to celebrate. And
Right.
they went to bed. They went to sleep. They're racked out, for you guys who are nautical. And this boat was moored about a half mile offshore from the docks there.
Right.
I thought it was closer, but they're saying last night, today, about a half mile from the docks. About 4 o'clock in the morning, storm comes in. The storm that came in was what we call a waterspout, a tornado over water.
Right.
A lot of people have poo-pooed waterspouts as not being real tornadoes. They are real
They are,
tornadoes. They just
yes.
suck up water. And if it goes over that boat, which it did, it flipped that boat. They rescued 15, I think it was.
Yeah. Out of
Whatever
there's
number.
22 on board.
6.
And I think you're right. They rescued about 15.
Thought they had
10 of the people were cabin crew.
Yeah, okay. So they got out in a hurry.
Yes.
The Bayesian is an 184-foot British flagged yacht. Civil protection officials said they believe the ship was struck by a tornado over the water, better known as a waterspout.
Right.
Wow.
Well, you know what's really bizarre about the story, and I'm not saying that there was a conspiracy here by no means.
No, I'm sure
Though
it was not.
A lot of people on social media are trying to make it, but he was just acquitted in June
Mhm.
of the 50 charges having to do with the sale of his internet company to Hewlett Packard. And this is something that happened years ago, and they've been, battling over and over and over again. His partner at that time was also acquitted. And 2 days prior to this boat being struck by the tornado, his former partner was in a vehicle accident and lost his life.
There's no way you can plan a tornado.
No.
You can't schedule it.
It's such a bizarre story. Everything is just like they were just voodooed or something. It was crazy.
All right. Okay. We're going to have to take, this is time to go get a cup of coffee and probably breakfast down on the corner, because we're going to have to take a very long break. Okay. And we'll be back on the other side. Hopefully we can get all of these things in. So y'all stand by, and we'll have to apologize in advance for all of this. But right now, go ahead and get some breakfast. You can finish getting your makeup on, and guys, comb your hair this time, okay? You are live and local, Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM WSME, and we'll be back.
Freedom 97.1.
Is your phone plan messing with your savings plan? Don't get stuck paying for things you don't want. With Verizon, you only pay for what you need. And for a limited time, when you bring your own phones to a Verizon store, you'll get an amazing price on your plan. Plus, you'll save on things you actually love, like the Netflix and Max with Ads bundle. And it's on our award-winning 5G network. Bring your phones to your Verizon store today for an incredible deal. A better plan to save is Verizon. Additional terms and conditions apply.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Anjali.
Hi, it's Jennifer Coolidge. I just got an alert for a strange charge on my card.
No problem. We make sure you're never held responsible for unauthorized purchases on your Discover card. Let's see. Did you purchase something from a t-shirt cannon store yesterday?
Absolutely not. No, I already have like 3.
$0 fraud liability guarantee. It pays to Discover. Learn more at discover.com/credit card. Limitations apply.
A plan every adult family member should consider is the pre-arranged funeral. It's the worry-saving thing to do for your family. Making pre-arrangements helps to alleviate the additional stress on family members that can come with arranging a loved one's funeral. Jones Funeral Home's prepaid funeral plan helps remove confusion. They make a practical evaluation of costs possible, and it's the best way to take an unpleasant task off the shoulders of the family. Call Jones Funeral Home at 455-1281.
Locations in Jacksonville, Richland, Swansboro, and Holly Ridge.
Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry, where we love to make you smile. Now proud to be working with Doctors Kim and Tommy Morgan, formerly Morgan Family Dentistry. The Jacksonville and Richlands Morgan offices of Lane & Associates Family Dentistry blends the latest technology with personal care and attention, so you have an amazing dental experience. The offices of Lane & Associates welcome all ages and accepts all major insurances, including military. Lane & Associates Family Dentistry has been serving the state of North Carolina for over 40 years, with 2 locations in Jacksonville, Richlands, and Maysville. Call for an appointment today at 877-LANE-DDS or online at lanedds.com. Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry.
Have you gotten your copy of Topsail Times newspaper this week? If not, did you know that Topsail Times is Topsail area's only local newspaper in print? Started a little over a year ago, we now have over 1,500 online subscribers and 5,000 printed copies that go out every 2 weeks. And we never... Information should be free to our readers, and we stick by that. Looking for an idea for date night? Want to learn some local history? How about asking a veterinarian about your pet? These things and more are available in each copy of the Topsail Times newspaper. Want to get the word out about your business? We offer great rates for full color ads, and the online paper version is always included for free. Need help designing the perfect ad? We can do that too. We're always looking for human interest stories, so start writing. And we love local photos too. Check out our website at topsailtimes.net, where you can find out where to pick up a copy or check out our latest publication online.
Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing specializes in residential and commercial interior and exterior painting. In fact, they paint most anything except cars, including homes, businesses, apartment complexes, decks, and they do minor repairs, wood repairs, pressure washing, waterproofing, and more, including storm repair and cleanup. Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing, fully licensed, insured, and locally owned and operated by Roger Carroll Jr. References available and customer satisfaction always guaranteed. So if you want it painted, maintained, power washed, or need a new roof, call Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, and Power Washing at 910-939-0749 or visit southerntouchpaintingnc.com. Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing salutes our troops and is proud to be part of the continued growth of Onslow and surrounding counties.
This just in, I think there's been a prison break, and reports are saying it's the Scorcher. Yes, the Scorcher has escaped and running rampant across Comfortville. Apparently, he's targeting innocent air conditioning units. Yes, and wait a second. It seems that reports are flooding in of unfortunate citizens feeling uncomfortable, hot, and in extreme cases, I hesitate to say this on the air, people are even sweating. Wait a minute, we're now getting word there seems to be some sort of disturbance. Bryant Man is on the scene, and he has apprehended the Scorcher. All right. Tune in again for another tale of Bryant Man, always doing whatever it takes.
Call Down East Heating and Air Conditioning at 346-4311 and let them keep you comfortable this summer. Down East Heating and Air, serving our community for over 25 years. Down East can also help you with your home guttering needs. Call Down East today, 346-4311.
When it comes to paint supplies, whether a contractor or homeowner, since 1957, people have depended on Jacksonville's premier paint store, C&S Paint, for all their painting supplies and accessories, as well as providing expert knowledge and helping with a particular paint project. C&S Paint, with locations in Jacksonville at 6 North Avenue, 504 Cedar Point Boulevard, Cedar Point, and 105 Wayne Drive, Morehead City. C&S Paint is close and convenient to cover the Crystal Coast with quality PPG paint for any project, residential or commercial. Color is often the first impression of a home or community. PPG's team of designers, experienced in both new home construction and residential repaint, have compiled over 2,000 color schemes to provide you with a selection that appeals to homeowners. A beautiful and lasting paint job starts with quality PPG paint. For more information, phone 910-455-0210 or visit CNS Paint, 6 Stars Avenue, Jacksonville, 504 Cedar Point Boulevard, Cedar Point, or 105 Wayne Drive in Morris City, or online, cspaintcenter.com. CNS Paint, Jacksonville's premier paint store since 1957.
Okay, we're going to have to still play some more commercials before the break here, but just bear with us a little bit. How about Robert F. Kennedy and his running mate
Big
there?
news coming out there.
They are indicating, and they actually apparently chatted first with the Harris group, and they turned them down, blew them off or whatever.
Right.
So they said, you know what? Why not offer our services to Donald Trump, not for official or anything,
Right.
but if we bow out of this thing, if we pull out of this race now, and we do have a lot of supporters, they do. They got a lot of people that don't like the Democrats, for one thing. We'll turn those people over to Trump and see if they will. Hopefully, they would all go, and that the vast majority of the people that are supporting Kennedy apparently would vote for Trump, according to their polls. That's what RFK says. He says that like a bunch of his people that were supporting him have indicated they would follow suit and go over and support Trump if he asked them to do it. So that would be interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot going on behind the scenes, and you want to talk about that?
Yep.
I have
Make a lot of difference.
I have someone do you know North Carolina is allowing a presidential here, and they just approved this Tuesday.
I saw that. Yeah.
Justice for all parties. So now you have a choice for you.
9 of them, right?
For those that do not know where they're going, Cornel West is running.
We need to get him.
Cornel, yeah.
All right, let's take a quick break. Well, another break anyway. You're live and local, Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME.
Looking for a job? Full-time? Part-time? Il Cigno Italiano Restaurant wants you. We're currently hiring for hostesses, servers, bartenders, and dishwashers. Il Cigno Italiano is a family-owned, fast-paced restaurant that offers the best in fine dining on the Crystal Coast. If you're hardworking, reliable, professional, and have a desire to always strive for better, we want to talk to you. Make great money and be a part of an outstanding, dedicated team. Il Cigno Italiano on West Corbin Avenue in Swansboro.
It's hot outside, but the summer heat does not keep Mix Masters Concrete of Beulaville inside. They can handle the heat and that concrete project on your to-do list this summer. When it comes to ready-mix concrete, nobody does it harder or quicker than Mix Masters Concrete Incorporated, Highway 24 East in Beulaville. Whether you need concrete for an outdoor kitchen, residential, commercial, or agricultural project, Mix Masters Concrete Incorporated can handle it. And they of Eastern North Carolina. From driveways, patios to livestock housing, Mix Masters has the concrete. And owner Scott Thigpen will gladly provide a free estimate with delivery on Saturdays. And KPT Masonry specializes in professional concrete finishing. Again, nobody does concrete harder or quicker than Mix Masters Concrete Incorporated of Beulaville. So, when you need ready-mix concrete, call Mix Masters Concrete of Beulaville first, 910-298-6153. That's 910-298-6153. Mix Masters Concrete Incorporated of Beulaville takes this time to thank those that serve us for our most prized possession, our freedom, and is proud to be a part of the continuing growth of Duplin, Onslow, Jones, and all surrounding counties.
If you're looking for a home, or perhaps you want to sell your house, why would you not pick a realtor that knows Eastern North Carolina? Candy Brown Thompson has lived her entire life in this area and knows the territory like the back of her hand. She's a realtor with Century 21 Champion in Jacksonville and is known as a professional that will do everything possible to find the right home to meet your needs. It matters not whether you're looking for a small starter home or you're ready for a larger home. Candy will stick her neck out and check out homes throughout the eastern part of the state. She's known to look high and low and show you as many houses as you want until you have found the perfect house you can turn into a home. Throughout the process, she'll treat you with grace, kindness, and integrity, and you'll love her sense of humor. For a realtor dedicated to her clients, give Candy Brown Thompson of Century 21 Champion a call at 910-787-5600. That's 910-787-5600. 5600.
5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 5600. 56
Richlands Piggly Wiggly here. How've y'all been? Well, school is back in gear and we are here for all your grocery needs. Cook up some whole boneless pork loins for dinner tomorrow night for just $1.79 a pound. Then grill out this weekend with the fam. Grab you some T-bone steaks for $8.99 a pound. And don't forget to make those kiddos a lunch. Throw in some fresh apples, a 3-pound bag of red or gold, delicious apples, 2 for only $5, and some white or red seedless grapes for $1.99 a pound. Perfect for your baby's lunch. Get to shopping, y'all, at the Richlands Piggly Wiggly.
WSME, Camp Lejeune, W246CJ, Jacksonville.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster.
America, hope is making a comeback.
Former First Lady Michelle Obama on stage at the Democratic National Convention in Chicago, followed by her husband, former President Barack Obama.
Kamala Harris won't be focused on her problems. She'll be focused on yours.
There's a ceremonial roll call vote nominating Vice President Harris as presidential nominee. Her running mate Tim Walz speaks and accepts the vice presidential nomination tonight. Former President Trump campaigns with his running mate J.D. Vance in North Carolina today, giving a speech about national security. Yesterday in Michigan, it was about crime and safety.
Kamala Harris will deliver crime, chaos, destruction, and death.
Yes, events in Arizona and Nevada tomorrow and Friday. Former Congresswoman Debbie Mucassel Powell wins the Democratic Senate nomination in Florida to run against Republican incumbent Rick Scott. America's listening to Fox News.
Freedom 97.1.
WSME.
It's live and local. Real talk.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. I will tell you now, fasten your seatbelts. I got some pretty disturbing news again.
Oh, no.
What happened to the kids? What happened to the kids?
What kids?
U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement has lost track of tens of thousands of unaccompanied minors over the past 5 years. An internal watchdog within the Department of Homeland Security sent a report to Congress on Tuesday titled Management Alert. ICE cannot monitor all unaccompanied migrant children released from DHS and U.S. Department of Health and Human Services custody. The interim report warns that over the past 5 years, more than 32,000 unaccompanied migrant children are no longer accounted for by ICE. They have not a clue where they are. Do you think of blaming ICE? Do not even think about that. They cannot or should not be expected to be babysitters for tens of thousands of kids that the government has released into the bowels of this country. Did anyone think, did they really think this was a good idea? Who was at the helm for that? We decided to allow unaccompanied minors to just walk anywhere they wanted to go. Is that right? And do what?
Obviously.
A large portion of these unaccounted for migrant children is a consequence of individuals failing to appear at immigration court hearings after being released from government custody. Again, like who in our upper government ever thought of that those who were released with a lick and a promise would ever show up? I thought all of the so-called Reverend Jim Jones Kool-Aid had been destroyed. Someone in Washington must have started making it by the tanker load. No doubt, most of these minors are safe. Of the 32,000 we cannot account for, what are the chances that a significant number, maybe no more than, 10%? That's more than 3,000 right there are being exploited. Do you think these unaccompanied minors perhaps are being exploited? Where can they go to complain? They can't complain.
No.
How does this play out for the Democrat who wants to be president, who did nothing when her boss, the president, gave her a mission to handle the border crisis more than 3 years ago? He assigned that task to Kamala Harris shortly after his January 2021 inauguration. Joe Biden and Harris took an oath of office, but did not really mean it when they said they would uphold it. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States or the Vice Presidency of the United States, and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. Now let's go back to the Constitution. What does it say? Article 4. The United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a republican form of government and shall protect each of them against invasion and on application of the legislature or of the executive when the legislature cannot be convened against domestic violence. The primary part of that says, the United States shall guarantee to every state and shall protect each of them against invasion. Well, with tens of millions of undocumented illegal aliens swarming into the United States across the southern border with Mexico, crossing Texas, that's a state, New Mexico, that's a state, Arizona, another state, and California, we sometimes disavow it, but that is still a state. Does this not constitute an invasion? They have no legal right to be there. Why has the current administration and previous administrations, Republicans as well as Democrats, independently decided that it was okay as long as it was controlled? My dear friends, and the rest of y'all, it has not been, nor is it being now, controlled. We have illegals getting driver's licenses. Yep. Working at all sorts of jobs, getting paid, many of them cash, without any withholdings for Social Security, Medicare, or taxes, the deductions that the rest of us have taken out of our payday, out of our checks every payday. And we learned that there are those in this broken government that want to turn around and further deplete the Social Security funds to provide free money to illegals who work but don't pay taxes. There are those who willingly give away your money to provide medical benefits, housing money, educational benefits to illegals who slipped into this country while the border guards were told that the elite at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue said, it's okay, bring them on. And the do-gooders actually expect me to believe they have no ulterior motive than to just give away our money to folks and expect nothing in return. There ain't that many do-gooders out there. Don't think about calling to tell me that the only thing they expect is for these kids to grow up with an opportunity. That is a line of Bravo Sierra, bologna sandwiches, and straight up BS.
I agree.
Tell that to the homeless, broken veterans who have fought for this country. We got money for them. They're illegals. They're coming into this country. We can afford to give them housing. We can afford to give them this. We can afford, because we've taken it away from you. What are we going to do for the veterans? Nothing, honey.
Nothing. Let them buy them a new backpack for their bed in the woods.
No, they don't need that. They've got their own. Tell that to the kids whose parent or parents barely make enough money to put food on the table most of the time. Tell that to the families of the Americans who have been raped and murdered by members of this prestigious group of people that the realists in this nation call illegal aliens. Did not any of these folks in the of our government ever hear that charity begins at home? I learned that a long time ago. Did they not do that?
Absolutely.
We were supposed to take care of our own. Take care of our own before offering the wealth that we take away from our citizens to give it to anyone else. Okay, you tell me to simmer down and shut up, will you?
You need to simmer down, really. You've been just like on edge all morning.
I do need to shut up because the next president of these United States is going to come looking for me, and it won't be for my advice. I have no doubt about it.
Why do you say that?
Because she doesn't like what we say. Doesn't like what I say. We got to put some restrictions on that talk radio stuff, because those guys say what they want to say. We don't want them saying what they want to say.
What concerns me is this gun control they're proposing.
That's just the first step. Y'all just have not figured it out yet. Second Amendment is an easy target for extreme liberals and anti-gunners. It's an easy target because there are a lot of people in this country that do not own guns, and they say, it won't affect me either way. That's where you're wrong. One right at a time. That's what they're thinking. One right now would be the Second Amendment. Let's just do away with that thing. We're not going to let you. We can't get rid of it completely because it's in the Constitution, but we can just ban large capacity magazines like Bill Clinton did. And there was a sunset clause in all of that stuff. Do you remember that?
Right.
There was a gun ban and a gun magazine ban. There was a sunset clause. It ran out. Once it ran out, guess what they did? They went back and checked the rates of murder using assault rifles, so-called assault rifles, high-capacity magazines, was no different than it was before. It stayed the same. First of all, there are very, very few homicides committed with the so-called assault rifles. They're too expensive. The gangbangers don't get them. They don't like them. They don't use them. They use up too much ammo, and they don't hit anything.
Right.
They prefer a 9mm handgun. That's where the murders in Chicago happen. You don't see them by spraying and praying with a machine gun, a fully automatic, or even a semi-automatic rifle. They don't do that.
You want to call Chris Marks?
Sure.
Yeah, he's a few things he'd like to say.
He's chomping at the bit.
Yes. I'm trying to find this news story. If I find it, it's going to make your blood boil. But I was watching.
My blood is already boiling.
I was watching a YouTube show last night, and they were talking about in Massachusetts, only certified law enforcement officers could buy a Glock.
So they're banning a certain brand of
Yes,
gun?
yes. But so far, I've not been able to find that story. But I was like, how can you do that? How can you tell an individual that, sorry, you can't buy a Glock because
Well, they're going
it's
to ban
considered
Colgate toothpaste next.
Oh. You better go out and stock up on
Yeah.
it.
No more Colgate toothpaste.
I'm just excited because come this time next year, we'll be able to afford it. Maybe. You think?
Don't count on it. Hey, Chris, how are you?
I'm good, you two. How are you doing?
Hey, Chris.
Well, I had to get some ranting in.
Well, Rafer, you brought up some good points. I'm not going to, this may not get your blood to boil less, but so a couple of points that have gone on in the last 24 hours, at least, in some information and some talk that I've done to people. Let's talk about job creation.
Yeah.
Do you all recall how many jobs were lost during the pandemic?
A bunch. I don't know how many were lost, but
20 million.
Yeah, that's a pretty fair assessment. I know we lost it. We lost our job.
Yeah.
We got shut down.
Go ahead, Rafer.
We got shut down here on another station because of the pandemic, allegedly.
Biden alleged that his administration, added 14 million jobs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's the deficit there?
6.
There you go. Now, when I talk about the economy to people, they ask me this: what would you have done? First, my reply is this: I didn't make any promises to be elected president to fix the economy. That's one.
Yeah.
2, the administration has not fixed the economy. Yesterday, I went to a local grocery store that's named after an animal. Even with a discount for a 20-ounce container of dried raisins, almost $5.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't know that there was a shortage on grapes, which turn into raisins when they're dried. I believe that's how it's done. $5?
Yep.
Now, they talk about the price gouging. Of course, the coalition that supports, or the PAC that supports grocery store owners, the large corporations and stuff, they're already totally against what she said. Who would? If there's price gouging going on like has happened in North Carolina, and Cooper hasn't done anything, he's a Democrat, by the way, everybody knows. The states take care of that. Why does she want to make a federal law to make a law that's already in the books possible to be carried out?
Well, there's this whole increase in prices at the grocery store. I do not know everywhere where the prices are related to gouging or to extra profits. I know that it's passed along. The price of diesel fuel is astronomical. We know that that every bit of food that comes into your neighborhood grocery store is going to be coming via a truck that's powered by diesel fuel, right? We know that. That's just the way it is.
Yep.
Diesel fuel, for some reason, is more expensive than refined gasoline, which still don't, because it never was before. Diesel fuel used to be cheaper. It's not, I mean, it's just crude oil refined slightly. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
So why is that much more expensive? It never was before. I mean, even one of the big things they used to tout back in the 70s, and early 80s, you can get you a diesel powered car and, the fuel won't cost you nearly as much. And it didn't. You paid, the 70s, you paid 85 cents a gallon. Let's say you could buy diesel fuel for 60 cents a gallon. So why is it now $3.49 to $4 a gallon?
Trying to find.
Why is it that high or higher? I don't get it.
Well, Rayford, some of the people, and Lee, some of the people that try to come back to me with these things are saying, well, it's supply and demand.
Uh-huh.
You had the same demand 4 years ago.
I think on the most part, a lot of us drive a lot less than what we used to
we
back
do.
then.
Absolutely.
I don't take those long drives anymore.
Can't afford it.
Rayford, our boating friend, probably doesn't put his boat out as much anymore. A lot of people don't do that anymore. I see more boats for sale now than I do that say, hey, I'm getting ready to buy a boat. You can't afford that pleasure anymore.
No, there are a lot of people that are downsizing. I've got a 30-foot boat with 2 300 horsepower motors on it. It's been in the water 4 times in the past year. 4 times. And we can't.
4 times.
And we took short trips. I did not do any offshore, way offshore. It was near shore. I did not go out there 50 miles. 50 miles offshore is 100 miles round trip. That's a lot of gas for 2 motors.
Almost 8 months, 4 times you've been able to put your boat in.
Yep.
I'm not saying, I don't know your finances, none of my business, but
Fixed income.
What is my business is my money, and my children's money, and my grandchildren who I give money to. The people got to understand. Ask themselves this. I got a new one. I sort of mentioned it yesterday. So President Trump has been president before, correct?
Yep.
Okay. What is he going to gain by being president again? What is he going to personally gain from this? He's already got Secret Service protection the rest of his life. He gets retirement. What is he going to gain?
He can't gain anything except some gray hairs to replace his orange hair.
What?
Now, what is if she got elected? What is Harris gaining out of this?
Money and the future talks around the country. She's going to be a multi-millionaire, not based upon
And
the
she's
salary.
already a millionaire.
Yeah, she's going to be a multi-millionaire times over. I mean, it's just a prestige thing for her. She doesn't have anything to offer this country. I will tell you that right now.
She wants to go into the history books, my opinion, as the first African American woman president of the United States.
Well, I
She's
do have
not
to
in this
say,
to help. Go ahead, Lee.
I'm sorry for interrupting. I do have to say, if it was me, yeah, I'd go for it too, just to be the first.
I don't care.
Well,
Well,
don't you want to be history?
Well, yeah, sure. She wants to go into the history books,
Right.
like the young lady, Mrs. Cox, who was the first, woman to go up into space for so long, and she's from Jacksonville, North Carolina. She's
Right.
in the history books somewhere, probably. Great accomplishment, but at the end of the day, what are you going to be remembered for?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, we all have, quote, our legacies. That's what he wanted to do. Here's my legacy speech. Then I'm going to go on vacation to California.
sure.
Meanwhile, I'll let you go do some commercials.
We do.
Meanwhile, my vice president is campaigning in Milwaukee while the convention's in Chicago last night. So who's running the country?
Certainly isn't Biden.
Same people that
Well,
have been
that
for the last 4 years. Who that is, I don't know.
I couldn't be because Obama was in
I don't know.
Chicago.
Uh-huh.
Wonder if
And
he still.
last parting shot, so you can do some commercials and a little humor. Why is he taking a vacation? He's been on vacation for 3.5 years.
Yeah.
What's he need another one for?
Well, he got
Y'all have a blessed
he got
day.
kind of tired
Okay,
the other
Richard.
night. He got a little
Bye,
tired the other
Chris.
night. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Take care.
I don't know what to say.
Let's take a break. You're live in local Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM WSME. Weather is next.
Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Welcome to Lingen & Associates Family Dentistry, where we love to make you smile. Now proud to be working with Doctors Kim and Tommy Morgan, formerly Morgan Family Dentistry. The Jacksonville and Richlands Morgan offices of Lingen & Associates Family Dentistry blends the latest technology with personal care and attention, so you have an amazing dental experience. The offices of Lingen & Associates welcome all ages and accepts all major insurances, including military. Lingen & Associates Family Dentistry has been serving the state of North Carolina for over 40 years, with 2 locations in Jacksonville, Richlands, and Maysville. Call for an appointment today at 877-LANE-DDS or online at lanedds.com. Welcome to Lingen & Associates Family Dentistry.
Have you gotten your copy of Topsail Times newspaper this week? If not, did you know that Topsail Times is Topsail area's only local newspaper in print? Started a little over a year ago, we now have over 1,500 online subscribers and 5,000 printed copies that go out every 2 weeks. And we never charge our readers. Information should be free to our readers, and we stick by that. Looking for an idea for date night? Want to learn some local history? How about asking a veterinarian about your pet? These things and more are available in each copy of the Topsail Times newspaper. Want to get the word out about your business? We offer great rates for full color ads, and the online paper version is always included for free. Need help designing the perfect ad? We can do that too. We're always looking for human interest stories, so start writing. And we love local photos too. Check out our website at topsailtimes.net, where you can find out where to pick up a copy or check out our latest publication online.
Mills International Incorporated. Your Cub Cadet dealer is ready for summer, and you should be too, with the Cub Cadet Ultima Series. Come today and see how these zero-turn mowers have stepped up control from traditional lap to a familiar steering wheel experience. Four-wheel control provides precision, maneuverability, and stability on a variety of terrains, including hills up to 20 degrees. Adjustable automotive-inspired high-back seat lets you comfortably cut at your maximum speed, while a heavy-duty mowing deck powers your yard for a premium cut. Combine steering wheel control with premium features of the Cub Cadet Ultima Series, and you get a zero-turn mower ready to unlock the possibilities of your lawn. Head to your local Cub Cadet dealer, Mills International Incorporated, at 801 South Queen Street, Kinston, for exceptional offers, expert advice, and a superior service.
Hampton Hadley of Hadley Family Chiropractic is a Palmer graduate and certified in chiropractic pediatrics. Hadley Family Chiropractic of Jacksonville offers comprehensive care for you. Hadley Family Chiropractic provides services for back pain, headaches, leg pain, neck pain, numbness, shoulder pain, work and sports injuries. Your comfort is your ultimate concern. Hadley Family Chiropractic offers state-of-the-art chiropractic care as well as transportation. There's very little wait time and same-day appointments are available. Open Monday through Thursday from 7:30 till 5, Friday 7:30 till 12, and available Saturdays, Sundays, and holidays by appointment. Hadley Family Chiropractic, 1905 Gum Branch Road, Jacksonville, by phone 910-938-2332. That's 910-938-2332 for a Hadley Family Chiropractic.
When you need comforting, who do you call? An old friend, right? Jacksonville Heating Contractors services the heating and cooling needs of our area with dependable quality train systems, guaranteeing indoor comfort for your home or business. In addition to quality train systems, Jacksonville Heating Contractors offers 24-hour emergency service, NATE certified technicians, and over 50 years of experience and service you can trust. And with a Jacksonville Heating Contractor service agreement, you never pay retail for heating or cooling services and receive priority scheduling. Remember, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And in New Bern, you can call Trent Heating and Air Conditioning 252-633-2200. In Morehead City, Sea Air Heating and Cooling 252-247-1122. If you need service or repairs, just call an old friend. Jacksonville Heating Contractors, an independent train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. For deals on train systems and more, visit anoldfriend.com or call 910-347-2843.
Richlands Piggly Wiggly here. Have y'all been? Well, school is back in gear and we are here for all your grocery needs. Cook up some whole boneless pork loins for dinner tomorrow night for just $1.79 a pound. Then grill out this weekend with the fam. Grab you some T-bone steaks for $8.99 a pound. And don't forget to make those kiddos a lunch. Throw in some fresh apples, a 3-pound bag of red or gold, delicious apples, 2 for only $5, and some white or red seedless grapes for $1.99 a pound. Perfect for your baby's lunch. Get to shopping, y'all, at the Richlands Piggly Wiggly.
Home Connections of Beulahville is connecting people with the American dream of home ownership. In addition to single wides, double wides, and modular homes, Home Connections offers custom building and land home packages throughout eastern North Carolina just for you. Whether it be a single wide, double wide, modular home, or custom built dream home, Home Connections will make it happen. Home Connections sincerely wants you to have the American dream, your own home. Home Connections features homes by Clayton with a variety of floor plans and amenities to choose from, and many finance options available. Home Connections can make owning your own home affordable and simple. 50% of new home buyers at Home Connections offer referrals, and references are gladly provided. For your convenience, Home Connections in Beulahville is now open from 9 to 6 Monday through Friday and 9 till 2 on Saturdays. Beautiful homes, friendly staff, and financing. All you need to do now is call Bobby or Reggie, 910-298-3387. That's 910-298-3387, or visit ourhomeconnections.com.
Home Connections, Highway 24, Beulahville, on your way to and from the beach.
It's live and local real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Well, I don't think I could give you a much better forecast. Weather right now here in Jacksonville is 62 degrees on the outside of the studio. Relative humidity is 89%. It feels like it's 63 outside. How about that? Yeah, looking good. Inside, the humidity is 37% in here. It is cool. It's just 75, but that's over there on top of some odd equipment. It's cooler than 75 in here.
Oh, yes, it is. Let me see.
That's
My
on the
stand's
outside wall
cold.
up there.
My tumbler is cold.
Well, I'll check later. Marine Outlook is brought to you as a service of Community Prevention Service of Jacksonville. We'll talk about drug overdoses a little bit. We do it a lot. There are a lot of OD deaths from prescription, over-the-counter, and illegal drugs every year. I'm going to talk about those legal prescriptions that people get. They can't get as many as they used to. There's been a call to arms about that. You can't just go in and get a pain med.
No.
A disturbing stat from the DEA reports that on average, this is something that gets me. From birth until age 11, 18% of children, 27% of young folks from 12 to 19, 47% of adults 20 to 59, and 85% of the seniors 60 and older are taking prescription drugs for one problem or another. Not all of it is pain, thank God for that, but they're having to take prescriptions. No wonder Big Pharma is getting rich. Doctors are prescribing drugs for one problem or another. I wonder how many of those interact with each other. You take one drug for something and you have to take something else to take care of the other drug that you've already taken. Whatever. The older we get, the more often the pain drugs are routinely prescribed. Been to a dentist and they said, okay, here's a prescription for, I forgot what, hydrocodone or whatever. I picked it up and a year later I disposed of it accordingly. 2% of the U.S. population, 2% of us, 2 out of every 100, 5 million people have a prescription opioid use disorder.
Wow.
That means they got a problem with their prescription opioids. They have a disorder. These are drugs that drug manufacturers produce, drugs that a medical professional prescribed, prescriptions that are filled by pharmacies, millions upon millions of sanctioned pain medications that are taken legally in the United States every year. The vast majority of physicians will not continue to write prescriptions anymore for their patients without seeking other treatment alternatives. This is for pain medication. The additional problem at that time becomes the patients like what they've been taking, makes them feel good, and they're pain-free, Perhaps they're in pain they cannot deal with anymore, and they find relief elsewhere. Well, guess where else they find the relief? They go to the streets. There are people out there stealing legitimate pain drugs, and they're selling them. Generally, that's not too much to worry about, except you're still hooked. The problem, though, is compounded. For more than 111,000 of them during the past year, their battles ended. 111,000 people in this country last year, they died from overdoses. If you, a loved one, a friend, if you're in what looks like a never-ending cycle, seek professional help. In Jacksonville, you're lucky. A team of counselors working at Community Prevention Service, a locally owned and operated facility. These are people that want to help you. The counselors will work with you to develop a treatment plan, a plan that does not require you to seek drugs for relief. There are other options to that. There's no reason to think you're on a dead-end road. Give Community Prevention Service a call. Set up an appointment. Their number is 910-353-0972. 910-353-0972. Offshore today, looking good. Northeasterly winds 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4 feet. 3-foot waves from the northeast every 5 seconds, being gently caressed by gentle 12-inch ripples from the east every 9 seconds. Sounds and rivers of moderate chop. That was the Chamber of Commerce type forecast, right?
Right.
Tomorrow, northeasterly winds 10 to 15 knots, increasing to 15 to 20 in the afternoon. Seas a little more challenging, 2 to 4 feet, but they're 5 seconds apart. Sounds and rivers of moderate chop, increasing to choppy in the afternoon. Friday, northeasterly winds 15 to 20, seas 3 to 5 feet. Sounds and rivers choppy.
Very nice. And today is going to be sunny with a high near 81, north wind around 8 miles per hour. Mostly clear with a low of 61. Thursday, sunny with a high near 84. Thursday night, mostly cloudy with a low around 62. Friday, a slight chance of afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Partly sunny with a high near 84. And Friday night, Cardinal football. Put on your sweaters. Mostly cloudy with a low around 66.
Yay.
Yay. Go Cardinals.
You mean I'm sitting there in the press booth and I won't be blinded by the sun before it goes down?
No, you shouldn't be. And God love Robbie. Last year, she kept cleaning the glass up there. Remember
Yeah.
how bad it
So
got?
we could see it.
Yeah, she kept cleaning all the glass, brought her cleaning stuff. And I will tell you, though, it does get kind of cold up there in that booth
It
sometimes.
can if you turn those air conditioners on.
Well, there was
And
one
those-
day I know
some
they
of
were
those-
like, don't touch air conditioners. It was like
some of
45
those
degrees in there.
40 years ago in this country and right here in this area, Cherry
Right.
Point, Camp Lejeune, some really weird looking airplanes were starting to fly around. Yeah, they were called Harriers, AV-8As.
Oh, okay.
I was with a group that went out to the Bogue Airfield. I think it was 1974. And there was a demonstration they were going to show us. And I was shooting some TV movie film at the time, 16 millimeter motion picture film. And they had this plane on this little strip there at Bogue.
Right.
And there was a PA system set up so we could hear the commander that was going to give instructions to the pilot of this, what turned out to be the Harrier, single seat airplane, just sitting there. And he told the pilot who got aboard the plane, we watched him get aboard, he told the pilot over the PA system and over the radio, of course, he said, what, I remember, probably captain or something, said, Captain, you may, and the plane roars to life. And after about a minute or so, the MC there, one of the guys on the ground was explaining what was going on, what we were going to watch. There's a long airfield there, airstrip,
Right.
heads out towards the water.
Right.
We kind of thought this plane, it's got fixed wings, was going to take off and go that way.
What did you do? Go straight up?
And then the ground controller tells him to take off, lift off. He lifts straight up, maybe up to 100 feet. at about that level, he's telling him, Captain, do a quarter turn to your right, please. Have you ever heard that before?
No.
Okay, that's done on beauty pageant stages a lot.
Oh, yeah,
When they
in
come
an
out,
aspect like
contestant
that.
number or whatever, do a quarter turn to your right,
Yes,
please.
I
And
understand
they
that,
do.
but as far as a
And then he
airplane,
then told him to
jet,
do a quarter turn, come back to where he started, a quarter turn to your left. Now do another turn to your left, please. He did. Said, Captain, straighten up the engine, your plane, do a quarter turn to your right, please.
did he do a bounce?
He's standing up there in the air.
Did he
ro-
twerk?
he rotated his wings
Right.
on command. And the pilot and the ground control said, okay, pilot, you're clear to take off. From sitting in midair,
He had a button and zoom.
and he was gone.
Wow.
It was in short order. He was running 600 miles per hour or something ridiculous.
Shoo-wee.
It was just standing still, and then you're gone. The blink of an eye.
That's
I was
crazy.
like, we're in the twilight zone because this just did not happen.
Right.
This was a British plane, and we bought them, started buying them. And of course, we had a big squadron. Well, they're doing away with them. 40 years in service, and they've decided that that's enough, so we're going to get rid of them. So the future of the Harriers is short-lived.
Wow. I
How about
mean,
that?
we've used them for years.
40
now.
years.
Yeah, 40 years.
They were great on short landing runways
On
and
the
whatever
ships,
place.
right.
Ships were easy, yeah. But on land too, they didn't have to build a half
Right.
mile long runway to
Right.
get jets in and out. They can send the Harriers in. They can land on a little landing strip. They can just lay down some mesh netting and whatever and be done with it.
Yes.
Mesh.
Isn't that crazy how they can land on a ship and the net just catches them and stops them?
Well, that's the regular planes that do that.
Right. I mean, but,
Oh, I've landed on those aircraft carriers, two of them. We have the Kennedy one year and the Harrier, the America one year.
have you ever been up in one?
What, up in a what?
Harrier jet.
No. Don't
Don't
need
know
to.
that I could.
Don't need to.
I don't know that I could.
They got a lot of they had a lot of crashes when they first came into being all over the area. Carteret County it seemed like routine crashes there, but one of the reasons was because our pilots, first of all, they're single passenger planes. To begin, the first ones were. I think they got dual passenger now, but they weren't used to doing anything like that. The fixed wing guy did not take off vertically. That was one of the challenges they had with the Ospreys when they came out too, because they could
Right.
take off vertically as well. Different methods, but with props and whatever. But that was a challenge to learn how to do that. They had a lot of crashes with the Harriers. There are a lot of jokes about them. Let's go ahead and take a break. You're live and local, Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
Onslow County, this is your Freedom 97.1 WSME.
For 40 years now, people throughout Jacksonville and Onslow County have trusted Barnes Diamond Gallery for all their jewelry needs for every special occasion. They understand that every day is a special event for someone, whether celebrating a wedding, anniversary, birthday, engagement, or graduation. Let Barnes Diamond Gallery custom design something for you. Barnes Diamond Gallery does on-site repair in addition to their quality and selection of diamonds, diamond fashion bands, pendants, watches, earrings, gemstone rings, and necklaces for anyone for any occasion. Major credit cards accepted. Layaway available. Barnes Diamond Gallery offers appraisals and paid top market prices for gold and silver. Barnes Diamond Gallery, 461 Western Boulevard, Suite 120, Jacksonville, open 9:30 to 5:30, Monday through Friday.
If you are looking to purchase a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV without the high pressure, Onslow County Motor Company, 1639 Lejeune Boulevard, may be the dealership for you. At Onslow County Motor Company, they want to help you buy a car, truck, or SUV, not just sell you one. Buying a car, truck, or SUV should be enjoyable, and the folks at Onslow County Motor Company will do their best best in making your car buying experience fun and relaxed. Check out their inventory online at ocmc.us or visit them at 1639 Lejeune Boulevard. All vehicles are hand selected and a standard warranty comes with most vehicles, with extended warranties available, and Carfax is free. Stop by and visit Ben, Brandon, Travis, or Terry. They will gladly answer all your questions about a particular model. Financing? Well, Zeke will finance most anybody. Great selection, great people. Onslow County Motor Company, 1639 Lejeune Boulevard, Jacksonville, where customers send their friends.
Call today, 910-355-7066.
For over 40 years, people have trusted Liberty Tire, 1137 Gum Branch Road, not only for tires and tire service, but also auto and truck repair as well. Being locally owned and operated as your hometown Bridgestone Firestone dealer, at Liberty Tire, dependability and personal service is your number one priority. Being a state-of-the-art facility and using the latest technology, Liberty Tire all their work. It's simple. If you bought tires without pricing us first, you pay too much. Liberty Tire, 1137 Gum Branch Road, Jacksonville, for all your tire needs. Phone 910-346-6655.
When you're shopping for insurance, you might say, "What? Huh?"
I'm so over this.
But what you really need to say is something that could actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When you get a local State Farm agent, they can help make it easy and help you choose the coverage you need. Plus, they're available online, over the phone, or even in person.
I'm so into this.
David Hall, State Farm Agent, Jacksonville. Call today, 910-455-0440. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, your trusted local carrier indoor weather team. Serving all of your heating and air conditioning needs since 1967, now offers commercial financing and residential financing as low as 0%. With hurricane season here, be prepared with a Generac generator for your home or business. Humphrey Heating and Air has Generac generators in stock, ready to install today. Humphrey Heating and Air also does residential and commercial plumbing, air duct cleaning for better breathing, and services all brands of HVAC. Turn to the carrier experts, Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning. With locations in Jacksonville and Hempstead, visit online humphreyheating.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning since 1967. Relax, we're on the way.
The best deal for the grill is at Jones LP Gas and Oil Company each Friday. Every Friday from 8 a.m. till closing at 5, Jones LP Gas and Oil Company will fill your 20-pound LP gas grill cylinder for only $11. You heard that right. Each Friday till closing, you can have your 20-pound LP gas cylinder filled for only $11 at Jones Gas and Oil Company, 3881 Wilmington Highway in heart of Verona. In addition to saving money on your LP gas for the grill, Jones Gas and Oil is your full-service gas and oil company serving residential, commercial, and agricultural gas and oil needs, as well as gas appliances, LP replacement, parts, fill cylinders, and tankless water heaters, and they offer a 10% military discount on installation. Remember to get that cylinder filled every Friday until closing for only $11. Jones Gas and Oil Company, 3881 the Old Wilmington Highway, Verona. Phone 910-346-6384.
Mohawk All Pet Protection and Warranty is the only cover protection and warranty for all pets, all accidents, all the time. Because your pets are family members too. No matter how you live, we've got you covered. Soft, luxurious, smart strand forever clean carpet. Gorgeous, durable, Solitech luxury vinyl tile. Mohawk has the ultimate floor for every room in your for all pets. For details, contact Walk online at watkinsnewfloor.com. Watkins Floor Covering, thanking you for voting them the best of the best for 2023 in the flooring covering and carpet cleaning category. Watkins Floor Covering, they're more than just floors. It's custom showers, custom tubs, carpet cleaning, backsplashes, bathrooms, commercial, retail, and home flooring too. Watkins Floor Covering, family owned and operated since 1997 with locations in Jacksonville. Watkins Floor Covering. You stand on it, we stand behind it.
Hello, shoppers. Take advantage of the following specials and many, many more at your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store, where good things cost less. Down home, down the street, Main Street in Maysville. Half-cut strip loin, just $6.99 a pound. is only $4.99 a pound. How about Boston butt pork roast? Just $1.79 a pound. Western ribs or pork steaks are $2.79 a pound. St. Louis style ribs are $2.49 a pound. And whole chickens are only $1.59 a pound. And remember, the beef and pork is cut fresh every day by the butchers at your Maysville Piggly Wiggly, and they use only the finest and certified Angus beef and Sanderson's farm chicken. Over produce, 2 pints of sweet blueberries are only $5. Eastern peaches, 99 cents a pound. Yellow or zucchini is only $1.59 a pound. How about jumbo bell peppers, just 99 cents each? And red, ripe, whole seedless watermelons are $4.99. That's your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store down the street for good cost less, Main Street, Maysville. And before I forget, you get 2 6-packs of Pepsi or Mountain Dew for just $9. That's your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store, Main Street, Maysville, on your way to and from the beach. Remember, save big with the pig.
It's live and local. Real talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
Well, there's a really good way, or several ways, to get a police officer mad.
Why don't we do that?
Well, some of those protesters up there in Chicago.
Yeah, they're throwing stuff at him yesterday.
And you know what? When one of them shouts at you and a whole bunch of the police officers, and they're stretched pretty thin, by the way.
No.
F every single one of you until you quit your job.
Yes.
Really?
I saw that, yes.
Really? No, I'm enjoying my job. Come here, boy.
Well, I told you on Tuesday they were tearing down fences.
Yeah. More than 70 anti-Israel agitators arrested during the second night of the Democrat National Convention in Chicago amid violent clashes outside the Israeli consulate. I don't get it. I don't get it. Who are these individuals? Why are they protesting? Are they so supportive of Hamas? Is that what it is? I know they're claiming to be supportive of Palestine. And Palestine is controlled in the Gaza Strip by the terrorist organization known as Hamas, right? Anybody disagree with that?
Can I interrupt you for a minute?
Sure.
We got time to take a phone call?
Yeah, who it is.
All right. Okay. Mike Causey. Let me see.
I got his number.
He just saw my message. Oh, do you?
Is it on his cell number?
Yes, do his cell number.
You can talk for a minute.
Yes. I was just reading where one of the airports in Japan closed down because of a missing pair of scissors. Concern about the scissors, which had been used at a store in the departure area of a domestic flight, resulted in hours-long security search of the new Chitos Airport, the CTS, which serves the Sapporo area on the northern island of Hokkaido. I'm not good with these names. According to the airport, 36 flights were canceled on August 17th, and another 201 were delayed over a pair of scissors. I guess they were concerned about.
I didn't take them.
Somebody taking them on the airplane.
Yeah, I would think so. But somebody steal them and they're inside that area, you probably want to be concerned about it. I would think.
Have you got them online?
No.
Okay.
Hopefully I dialed the right number this time.
You might be calling his cell.
I am calling his cell.
Okay.
Does he want me to call something else?
Forward to voicemail. I just told him.
Where do you want me to call?
Let me see. We just tried.
I wouldn't shout it out to me, but
yeah. Let me see what he says. But yeah, I mean, I guess they were worried about a passenger taking a pair of scissors. All those flights canceled and delayed over a pair of scissors. You better start putting those scissors on a chain or something.
I would think so. I'm gonna call his cell number again.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay. That's what he said. All right.
Good morning.
Hey.
How are you, sir? Can you hear us?
What's that? I can. That was great.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Michael. How are you? Mike Causey.
Hey, Lee. Hey, Racer.
How you
What's
doing?
going on?
Not a whole lot. Mike Causey, our insurance commissioner here for the great state of North Carolina. My insurance rates are
Yeah.
too high. Do something about it.
I know. We were like, let's call Mike.
Oh, I'm working on it every day. You know that.
Yeah, I do. I appreciate it too. That's about the only thing that I'm seeing that hasn't gone sky high.
It's
be
not
honest
over
with
with yet. I know he's working hard on
Well,
keeping it down for us.
It depends on who you talk to.
True.
I've heard lots of people say there's the sky.
Yeah, well, I'm sure there are a lot of high insurance rates, but mine, thank goodness, has not jumped up like a lot of like my bread or my water or my soft drinks or anything else that I buy at the grocery store. Like, good gracious.
Well, that's true, and if you compare us to Florida, I mean, we're in real good shape.
Yeah, well, they've had all those hurricanes down there, and that makes everything jump up. How does that affect us, though? We've had a couple of brushes here. One that didn't do too much. It did destroy a house up there on the Outer Banks, but those things are doomed
Right.
from any high water at any time. They shouldn't have built where they built, but that's beside the point. But how about for the rest of the area? Are we paying the consequences for things like Debbie coming through here and Ernesto brushing the way offshore, but the waves hit us? Are we going to have to pay a lot of extra insurance because of that?
Well, we really dodged a bullet on this last storm. We had a number of claims, but it paled in comparison to Hurricane Florence and some of those other hurricanes.
Sure.
So, yes, anytime there's a natural disaster, if it's a wildfire in California or Idaho or wherever it may be, everybody across the nation ends up sharing the cost. So any kind of storm has the potential to drive up insurance rates. So that's why we do so much to prepare folks, to let them know what to do before, during, and after a storm, to keep yourself and your family safe and your property safe.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Well, that we hopefully we will brush it for the rest of the season. We still have to go, though. A little over 3 months to go for this hurricane season, and we're approaching the most horrendous part of it. Around the 12th of September is D-Day. That's for us.
That's not good.
Well, we're right in the midst of hurricane season, no doubt about that.
We are. Okay.
What's the latest scam going around with insurance?
Well, we've got people sending out text messages and emails and all kinds of things. So if you get a email and you think it's from a trusted source or a text message, you better think twice before you transfer any money.
Yes, always. It's just crazy. It's just always some kind of scam going on. And I know they Go ahead.
Did you see the article about some of our congressmen pushing back against the Department of Labor on what they're trying to do to our volunteer fire departments?
I read part of it and I was discussing it with Rayford during a commercial. We really didn't have a chance to read the whole article, but we were questioning that.
Well, I talked with Congresswoman Virginia Fox this week, and she's publicly opposed that, and I believe she's sending a letter out to all the fire chiefs across the state. But I wrote a letter to the acting secretary of the Department of Labor expressing my opposition, because it would devastate the volunteer fire department. It would put many of our volunteer fire departments out of business. It's sort of like a federal takeover, demanding what they have to do in terms of new safety measures. So everybody's for safety, but the federal government mandating something that's going to be very costly to a struggling volunteer fire department.
Right. And what this is about is OSHA's proposing some rules that will threaten the volunteer fire agencies in as far as operation.
Well, they're requiring certain types of equipment, certain types of uniform, different safety measures, all in the name of safety, but they're not looking at the cost and they're not providing any funding for it.
Yeah. Well,
That's rough. That's
you
rough.
know, I was talking with Lee beforehand. Volunteer firefighters in general, police officers, our armed forces, it's all a high risk situation. Period. Bottom line.
Oh,
You have to train.
Yes, sir.
You got to be trained. You really need to observe all of the safety rules that you can, but it's still going to be a high risk situation. You're not going to tell a guy, a firefighter, that when he hears a kid screaming in a house that he can't go in there. It's not going to happen. You know that? That's just duh.
That's right.
People do things, and I don't care if OSHA or whoever is standing around doing that, it ain't going to work. So they need to get off their high horse.
I agree.
That's my 2 cents
Tell
worth.
them, Rayford.
Tell them, Rayford.
Okay.
We need Rayford in Washington, D.C.
Oh, no, they
Oh,
won't
no.
let me carry my guns. I would
Oh.
need a bunch.
That would be bad, probably.
Can you see me walking somewhere in Washington, D.C. in the middle of the
Right.
night after working,
Right.
and some thug wants to be bad to me? No, that's not going to be good.
All over ABC News.
Be a bad night for him, for that guy.
For somebody, it would be.
Right.
Michael, we're up against the wall here against our clock as usual, but I want to get you back in here so we can
Yes.
talk a little
We're
bit
gonna
more
make
about
it
this.
happen. We're
So,
going to make it happen.
We'll
You
chat
let
with
me
you.
know, and I'll do what I can to be with you again.
All right, sounds
Okay,
like a
that
winner.
would be
Thank you, sir.
great. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Mike Causey, our director of the Department of Insurance.
He's our insurance commissioner for the
Yep,
state of
and
North
he's
Carolina. I'll tell you
the head-
what. And that
does
is one official that I will say he doesn't mind taking the time for you.
Okay, we're going to wrap it up. We're going to have to tell you goodbye right now because we got to play a few commercials
Yes.
before Fox News, and we've got a little bit behind, but we've got the same number of commercials. We just got to crunch them into a little bit tighter
And
area.
it
here.
will be, as Rayford would say, more better tomorrow.
It'll be mo better tomorrow.
Mo
Commissioners, we got a couple of county commissioners going to be in here.
Yes. Commissioner's Corner.
We get to abuse two of them tomorrow, the chairman and the vice chair, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy, I like
Let's
that.
think of ways. Let's go ahead and start our list tonight.
I will plan on this one for the next 22 hours.
Yes, it'd be great.
We'll see you tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. Y'all have a good and very safe day. You're live and local, Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME. We're going to break for some commercials. Then there's going to be a Fox News break. And then at 10 o'clock, there's going to be Rick Dees. Another dose of the Daily D's. And at 3 o'clock, Hollywood, who's been very busy with us this
Right.
morning. Sorry,
Sure.
Hollywood.
Yeah.
He's been very busy doing some other things from behind the scenes, and he'll be in at 3 o'clock. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Be safe. Don't do anything you shouldn't do.
Freedom 97.1. Looking for a job? Full-time? Part-time? Il Cigno Italiano Restaurant wants you. We're currently hiring for hostesses, servers, bartenders, and ushers. Il Cigno Italiano is a family-owned, fast-paced restaurant that offers the best in fine dining on the Crystal Coast. If you're hardworking, reliable, professional, and have a desire to always strive for better, we want to